Finance Ministry plus Human Rights Organization. Prison population increases. And Exxon can bill Guyana for employee vacations. I'm Rico Beaufort, and this is Uncut News. Do you see what's happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. The Ministry of Finance has criticized the Guyana Human Rights Association for questioning a recent contract signed between the government and the German company Veritas for the production of a new e-identification card. The GHRA raised procurement concerns and questioned the introduction of the card without proper data protection legislation. Well, the Finance Ministry dismissed these concerns, stating that all procurement laws were followed and that Veritas was a reputable supplier of identity solutions. The ministry also criticized the GHRA as a one-man organization. The Minister of Public Works, Warren Edgell, has offered to help workers for the contracting firm responsible for rehabilitating the Laguan Stelling after the company complained of a lack of labor. The project, which is being undertaken by Esmeralda Contracting Services, is worth $413 million and is set to be completed by June. The rehabilitation of the Stelling involves the complete rehabilitation of the timber structure and the expansion of the Stelling platform through the construction of a reinforced concrete Stelling that will be adjacent and adjoining to the existing structure. The project also includes the construction of an administration building for the Transport and Harbors Department. The Guyana Prison Service has reported a 13% increase in the inmate population across the nation, which is attributed to better policing efforts. Sure it is. The prison director aims to strengthen interagency collaboration to promote prisoners' rehabilitation and integration to reduce the likelihood of ex-offenders returning to a life of crime. The Home Affairs Minister highlights the challenge of dealing with new forms of crime, such as transnational crime and organized crime. Workers employed at one of the most active mining pits on the disputed Chinese landing in the Northwest District escaped injury and possible death following a cave-in. The mining pit collapsed on Tuesday, resulting in the destruction of machinery such as pumps and crushers, as well as shade tents within the pit. 27-year-old Linden contractor Fawaz McRae has been remanded to jail for the attempted murder of his cousin, Police Sergeant Jermaine Semple, who was shot in the head during a fight at a hangout spot in Linden. In fact, Semple was attempting to break up the fight when his cousin shot him in the head. Semple remains in critical condition on life support. McRae was not required to enter a plea for the indictable charge and will appear in court again in the next 2 weeks. 2 men have been charged with assaulting a teacher in West Coast Belize. The teacher was beaten and verbally abused by a fourth-form student and his relatives on March 13th and sustained injuries to the face, back, arms, and other parts of his body. This was the same assault that the teachers earlier this week were protesting. The 2 men had pleaded not guilty and were released on bail with a court date set for March 30th, 2023. However, there were no photos of the men in question.
Hey, I'm interrupting this program to let you know that not all truck parts are created equal. Some does work hard without any problems for a long time, while others does make your truck broke down quick and got you running your pockets again. Get genuine high-quality parts from Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts and extend the life of your repair. They're the authorized dealer in Guyana for Hammer USA products like brake valves, clutch discs, universal bearings, and others. Visit them at 1161 EE Eccles or call them on 697-0171. Powered Automotive, the #1 truck and engine parts store in Guyana. If you didn't know, well, now you know.
Now it's time to tell you about the best price car of the week. Currently on sale is this 2020 Toyota Raze. It's almost brand new, and it comes with Toyota Safety Sense, Bluetooth, mud rims, new tires, TV, CD, LED lighting, fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cars for $6 million. Or pay as low as $1.2 million down with around $160,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them we can send you for this sweet deal. Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today. A 59-year-old Chinese national, Gao Zhenjin, was killed when a minibus crashed through a fence and hit him while he was standing in front of a building in Temeri. The incident occurred on March 16th, and the driver of the minibus has been taken into police custody as investigations continue. 3 Venezuelan nationals have pleaded guilty to armed robbery under the Hijacking and Piracy Act in Guyana. They were charged with stealing a boat and 2 engines worth a total of $2.4 million from 2 Guyanese fishermen while armed with guns, bows, and arrows. The trio will be sentenced on May the 22nd, 2023, and will also be tried for possession of firearms and ammunition without a license. Now for today's oil update. Sinnock Petroleum Guyana Limited, one of the 3 joint venture partners in Guyana's Stabroek Offshore Petroleum Block, has donated $4 million towards the rebuilding of the fire-ravaged Christchurch Secondary School. The Georgetown School, which accommodated 502 students and employed 39 teachers, was destroyed by fire on January 12th. The donation will be used to support the school's rebuilding efforts on Camp and Middle Streets. The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry is urging local commercial banks to disclose any hindrances that may be preventing the private sector from accessing better financing. The GCCI believes that access to finance is a critical issue facing the business community, and that the banks have a major role to play in mitigating the challenge. The private sector needs access to multiple instruments of borrowing to increase its competitiveness in the oil and gas sector. Failure to address this issue could lead to the private sector being unable to compete with regional and international counterparts. And finally, according to GHRA News, the production sharing agreement for the Stabroek Block in Guyana allows ExxonMobil and its partners to recover a significant portion of the nation's oil to cover various expenses, including employee salaries, bonuses, and benefits. This was included in their cost recovery. While the government can audit these expenses, the 2016 PSA only allows audits within a 2-year timeline. Currently, there are 2 ongoing audits for historical expenses and expenses incurred from the 2018 to 2020. The government auditors have completed their assessment of ExxonMobil Guyana's recovery of its US $7.3 billion in investment, and the company has 2 months to respond to the findings.
You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home or business with Sheriff Security. Sheriff Security has well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, Marine Patrol, K-9 services. They speed even our drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News, viewers poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it plays to us. Last night I asked, how do you feel about the government's consistent skipping of DAC meetings? Does it seem like a matter of poor scheduling, or is it something deeper? But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description. Guy Bryan says, it's far too rank to be chicken. Something fishy about the skipping. Indeed, I agree. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about the Guyana Prison Service's assertion that there's been a 13% increase in the inmate population being attributed to better policing efforts? Do you believe they're spot on, or is there something more at play here? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Enrico Bullfoot saying good night, folks.